So, what does utopia even mean for a country that isn't rich? We're going to dive into that very question, looking at it through the eyes of a nation that's standing at a crossroads, trying to find its own way to a better future.
All right, so to kick things off, our story begins in a world that might feel pretty familiar to all of us, a world that's trying to rebuild after a massive storm.
Just picture this, a country stepping out from the long shadow of the COVID-19 crisis. This is a place where that big, shiny promise of globalization, well, it doesn't feel like a golden ticket anymore. It feels more like a really messy, painful breakup. All the old rules are just gone. Now, here's what's really fascinating about this nation. It's not wealthy by any stretch. Natural disasters, they happen so often, they're almost like unwelcome but familiar family members. It's an imperfect place, for sure, with huge challenges. But the one thing that truly defines it, the quiet truth of it all, is that its people have never, ever given up. And it's that incredible resilience, that refusal to quit, that brings the country to this huge turning point, a moment where a choice has to be made. You see, with the old path of just chasing after the rest of the world now completely uncertain, the whole question flips on its head. It's no longer about, hey, who do we need to catch up to? Instead, a much, much deeper question starts to bubble up. Who do we actually want to become? And in this moment of quiet, in this search for a new direction, the country starts to listen. It starts to hear these two really profound ideas whispering from its own past. The first voice, you could say it's John Locke's, and he's whispering a fundamental truth, that real, legitimate wealth can only come from labor. It's an idea that's tied right into the core of what it means to be human, freedom, the right to life, and the pursuit of happiness that's built on your own two hands. And then you hear this second, deeper voice. This time, it's Karl Marx, and his message is more of a warning, a powerful one. He's saying that a society is only truly strong when its people aren't just treated like cogs at a machine, like tools for the market. Solidarity, he argues, isn't just some nice idea. It's absolutely essential for survival.
Okay, so you've got Locke and you've got Marx. You're probably thinking, here comes the big showdown, right? Well, this is where the story takes a really unexpected turn.
There's no argument here, no ideological cage match to see who wins. In this country's dream, they're just walking together, side by side. And this just beautifully lays out the core idea of this new path. They're both there to remind the country of a simple but incredibly powerful truth. Freedom is worthless without fairness, and fairness is meaningless if it doesn't respect the dignity of every single person. So where does this road actually lead? What's the destination? Well, it leads to a complete rethinking of that ancient dream of a perfect society. See, this country's vision of utopia isn't some flawless, shiny paradise with no problems. No way. It's something so much more human. It's a place where people have enough. A society that's defined not by how strong it is, but by how kind it is. A place where you aren't left behind just because you're poor, or trampled on simply because you're weak. And what does that dream actually look like in real life? It's not about grand monuments or futuristic tech. It's about simple, profound dignity. It's the dream of a country where kids drink milk that's pure and healthy, and where the elderly are cared for and honored, wrapped in silk. So look, maybe this nation won't go down in the history books as the world's first utopia. But maybe, just maybe, the real goal is to first focus on becoming a decent, kind, and truly livable country. And honestly, isn't that a dream worth fighting for?